right, what is up? What's going on, everybody? We'll test this again, see how the setup and video plays. Let me know if anything goes wrong. I'm gonna pull up the chat really quick. What is up, everybody? Let's see. There we go. It's taking a while to load. I'll monitor the video from over here and we'll see what is going on. Freon, Leon, Victor, Mike. I know I saw some others. Nasty, what is up? And I think it's clear now. Nope. Blurred vision. Why is it doing that? Yeah, I see it like pulsing. What is up, everybody? Continuously uploading. Blurred and slow. Testing. We'll see how it does. Man. Nah, it's okay. What is up, everybody? Well, how's everybody doing on this weekend? Nilsey Vids, D Tolls, what is up? Let me see, hold on. Easy E, cruising down the street in my 6'4". Yeah, so I bought a 64 Pontiac Bonneville for anybody that had not seen that. I know I posted it a few times, but prior to that, I had a 63 Pontiac Catalina, and I drove it around for a while. So, and that one I had, geez, it's almost like 15. This was around 2010, actually. I can look it up. So we'll see, because I think what this program does, I don't like how jittery it is. Program does is it uploads as I'm streaming, and I think I need faster internet for that. So I'm trying this program out. If I don't like it, then we're going to switch back. And then, what was I going to say? I need to get better. I need to get fiber or something to be able to do all this stuff. So I did drop down the quality just to make up for that. And hopefully that helps. But let me double check something. Yeah, I had the Catalina back in 2010. So that's like 15, 16 years ago. And I drove it around. Got a lot of compliments on that car. It looks almost identical to this one. This one just has a few upgrades. And the body's a little different, being it's a 64 instead. So the Catalina was great. My dad got it for me as a birthday present. We fixed it up. I worked and I learned how to work on that car quite a bit with the AC, radiator. The last thing was the brakes, but I have it with my mechanic right now, and brake lines were clogged, a whole bunch of other stuff, issues that I just never would have gotten to. So that one's being fixed. Unfortunately, it has a lot of body work that needs to be done, a lot of rust, holes, things like that. So hopefully that's more of a project car. Hopefully that one can be restored, and we'll see what we do with it. The one that I bought is almost mint condition for the age that it is. It runs. It's had some modifications to it. Nothing crazy. And um, and it runs and the AC works. AC needs a little bit of work for the vents, but it breaks, it runs, it drives. There's some leakage, but that is from what the mechanic told me because it was tightened or over tightened, torqued. So whoever changed out those gaskets and stuff just kind of squashed them kind of squashed them and they need to be redone and changed out. So minor things. I have been using it. It's great. Um, the Catalina was a birthday gift. I love that car. I grew up around classic cars. That's just the way my family is. My dad, my uncles, everybody works on cars. My grandfather was an auto mechanic, taught all his kids to work on cars. I didn't learn that skill. I was just running around as a kid. But later on, I did work on my personal vehicles and stuff like that, and that Catalina in particular. But the Catalina was the closest thing that I could get to, or that we could get to a Bonneville. My dad found it, bought it, birthday present, like I said, and I enjoyed it. I couldn't change the color on it because it was it's exactly what we were thinking. Old people take care of their shit. Um, so the thing is, that original Catalina was red, and I couldn't really change the color. The inside was white and red, so we were just gonna, fix it up. But then it stopped. It wasn't safe to drive, and it just sat there, and the body, started rusting and all that kind of stuff. And I had a hard time finding a mechanic. Luckily, I found one that was like a neighbor to my dad, and he's been able to work on it because nobody wants to work on old cars around here. So I've had that issue. But that was the closest thing that I could get to a Bonneville. I had a 2002 Bonneville that I loved, used like everywhere, road trips, all that kind of stuff. I wanted a classic car, Bonneville, and just so happened, found a 64 Bonneville. Like I said, pretty good condition. It had already been converted to Texas. It was registered in Texas, plates, all that kind of stuff. And I was like, the 64 is kind of what I wanted, and it was a Bonneville. It worked out. Everything worked out, and it was great. My dad fell in love because the guy that we bought it from was a Pontiac fanatic, and he had two Grand Prix, but he sold one. Yeah, I'm gonna have to figure out something with that internet. He sold one, which was a 50 something, but the one he had there, and I have pictures. So I did take very little photo and video, which I will put together at some point in a video. But my dad fell in love with the 1977 Pontiac Grand Prix that the guy had, and that one was like, if mine was in good condition, and I know I haven't shown much of it, but mine was in good condition. That one was like mint. Like I couldn't see anything wrong with it. I think he showed us one little scratch that it had, and that was it. So that one he said he would never sell, but I told him if the time comes and you need to get rid of it, me and my dad would love to take it off your hands. So, you know, it was really cool. My dad fell in love with that one, and like I said, we've always been into cars. So I had I had a 2002 Bonneville, and then unfortunately I don't have it anymore. But I've always wanted an older Bonneville, like a classic car. Symposium in 3 weeks. We also got AHR coming up. I forget what days the symposium is. One of these years, I will go out to it. The boat. It was nice. It was super nice. I don't know if I have it. I think I have it on my phone. Because he's like, take a picture, take a picture. Where did I put it? Yeah, I have more like in the video that you can see, but that's the photo right there. My dad was in it. He was trying to trying to haggle the guy to buy it and everything. I don't know if you guys actually saw it. I'll have to monitor the video. um, yeah, it's a nice car. GTO number one, Catalina Bonneville GTO. I love that Catalina that I had, but I am stubborn that I wanted a Bonneville, and that would have been my number one. I'm gonna try and keep the Catalina as well. Let me see. You can kind of see it on the monitor. Yeah, it cleared up. My eyesight's always blurry. I got a Nintendo 64. Yeah. I don't know how to change that. I'm pretty sure I know what it is, but I can't. I should have changed the recording resolution. All right, I think I caught up with the chat over here. My dad had a 65 GTO 389 six pack, black on black convertible. Had to get rid of it due to my mom not being able to push. Force rock crusher. Yeah. What was I looking at? That's cool, man. I don't remember. My dad and him were talking about the motor in that one. I'm not a super big car guy. I just appreciate the old cars. What engine in the 64? It was the he said something else, but it was a 389. It's a V8, but it's all original. It's the same exact motor that is in the Catalina that I have. So like I said, those are like brother sister cars. Same exact motor, and that's funny because I had the Catalina. I had a mechanic at the time that did all the work on it, and he cleaned and repainted the engine area and everything, and it's that turquoise color, and that's the same exact motor that this one has. So there, he told me that was the original way that it was supposed to be. So I was like, okay, cool. So they both have the same motor, same paint job. They both look identical under the hood. The only thing the guy did was change out the breather, and a lot of the parts have been changed out. Just because, well, some of them have been changed out. Some of it just is in good condition, right? Because they took care of it. But he said that, like you said, they take care of their stuff, right? Like anything happened, they went ahead and got it fixed immediately or changed out whatever it was that was like acting up just because they don't want to have a breakdown. So yeah, it was good. No, mine. Hopefully it clears up. Mine are automatic. So again, I'm not a car guy, so I can't give you all the details. But both cars are automatic. Just prefer it that way. Oh, and this one had all the original manuals. I got a whole. I'm gonna add this to my AC book collection. This is the air conditioning shop manual for the 64 Pontiacs. So this is super cool. So the guy gave me a whole bunch of he gave me this book. I have the original manual in the original like sleeve or whatever the thing that it comes in. And he's sending me because he forgot to give me there's a catalog with it where if I need parts, it has a breakdown of everything. I don't know how old that is, but he said he was gonna send it over. Super nice couple, like that dude. And like I said, maybe I'll do a video at some point. Uh, it always goes blurry when I want to pull up something. So I'm gonna hold this up while I talk. This what was I gonna say? This couple was super nice, and they loved talking. The guy was really into cars and gave us a whole rundown, a whole history on the car and everything, and then told us a little bit about himself as far as what he did. And he was a limousine driver, drove around important people like some queen or prince or something for 4 days. He met George Bush Senior, the older one, um, and then there was countless stories that he was telling us. So really cool dude, and he just has a thing for cars. And he went out and just gave us a whole backstory on everything. He also had a Monte Carlo for sale as well. That is 50 of 50 or something like that, I believe. And I'm not into those cars, so I was like, no, I'll pass. This is a cool book. Let me see. Uh, old school mechanic, AutoZone employee. Nowadays, AutoZoners don't know anything. See, that's what I get upset with. Because I don't know the stuff on the car. I expect, and it's the same thing when I go to any other type of place. Like, you should know your stuff if you're working at the counter or like anywhere for HVAC, for anything else. Um, so yeah, when I go to AutoZone or O'Reilly's lately, they just have been no help. Sometimes, every now and then, I do get an older man that is like trying to be helpful, knows stuff off the top of his head, but a lot of time, a lot of times they're younger and they're no help. I had with the Catalina, the reason I stopped working on it was because I was trying to get parts for it, and they kept giving me the wrong belts. They didn't know this or that, and I had to look it up on my own, tell them what I needed, this and that, and they were super confused. So I was like, okay, I give up. Yeah. Tell them you need an upper radiator hose for a 68 Volkswagen Bug, and they'll actually spend time looking it up. Yeah, like I said, I tried to get them to get me some parts, and it turned into a mess. They didn't know what to do, right? So it's been annoying. So that's why I'm super glad that I found this mechanic, because like I said, I used to have a mechanic, and I don't know what happened to him. Sold his place, moved on, and now there's this other mechanic. He's younger than I am, I think. He looks like younger than me, but he knows his shit as far as like cars. So he's there with the Catalina, taking it apart, doing all the brakes. He's having to do some custom work to get the brakes working, or to change out things, right? Um, because I have a cousin that upgraded his brake system, but I was like, just if it works, it works. But replaced the brake lines, cleaned a lot of the undercarriage and everything that was like getting rust on it. And yeah, that one's working fine. It's just it didn't break. So I stopped driving it because it stopped breaking. I got lucky a couple times because I almost went into traffic, but put that thing in neutral, put it in park, swerve out of the way, all that kind of stuff. I had some close calls with that one, and I was like, okay, yeah, the brakes are shot. So that's when I stopped. Um, yeah, I don't think he could get the drums for it, or they weren't the right size. and I don't know. He's having to get custom ones because I have a cousin that converted his to um, upgraded his brakes right to discs, but I was like, I don't know if I want to do all that. Gotta have disc brakes. Well, the options there. I saw it. I looked it up, but gotta get that candy paint. That was the original plan for the Catalina. It was a maroon red, and that's what this one is too. I couldn't paint it black because it had a wide interior. So I was like, oh, we're gonna go candy apple red. Just never got to that point because, like I said, the brakes just completely gave out. Just got the Titan Max 408 8i digital manifold. Have you tested this one? I bought it as a backup. Titan Max. We can look that up real quick. You bought that as a backup. What's your main? Are you on probes or something else? So the yellow jacket Titan Max, that should be the digital one um, from that number. What probes do you have? Do you have the yellow jacket probes, or are you using like field piece? Um, I have not used it, but it seems pretty nice. It what does it come with? Let's see. I see the clamps. I see what is that probe for? Gives you oh, it's an external vacuum sensor. It looks really cool. I have seen other people with it, and I want to say I saw it at HR. Okay, field piece probes. I want to say I saw it at AHR, and it looked really cool. I just don't have a need for it because I had the S Man, and I just gave away the S Man actually. So I'm running two sets of probes at the moment, and then my backup. I don't know if I have a backup. I was supposed to get the freaking field piece analogs, and they never came out. That was gonna be my backup. What is up, Vic? Oh, dang it. Season's greetings. Yeah, I picked them up and everything. Uh, never. When is the next? I need to. I haven't even asked Jake yet. Maybe we'll see what we can do in this week. Yeah, they look different. The field piece analogs. I also liked the way they looked, and it's just something with me because some gauges look dumb, so I don't get them. Y- That matters to me too. I thought they looked pretty dope, and I feel like I always need a backup analog because I forget to charge or I don't have batteries, whatever it is. So um, I want to say I asked recently and they just didn't even answer. So um, I'll have to bug them again to see when they're coming out, or AHR's around the corner and be like, hey, when are these going to come out? Because you had them last year. Haven't seen them yet. VRF, not really. The only variable speed anything I work on is those VFDs and stuff like that on the blower motors or compressors now, but they're in the RTUs that we work on, so nothing crazy. I don't do that kind of work. And they said they were going to be like $100. I'll pick them up whenever they come out. We got two more, I think. Two more shows we can do. What is up, Brian? Waiting for the last night's show. I use analog when setting up pressure switches. Yeah, I've never. Biolab uses VRF negative 30 degrees. See, I go by ear on pressure switches. I go by. I mean, I've been asked to do these ultra freezers, and I don't know, we just been so busy. I don't typically do, like, before I would take on anything and just learn it or try it or work with the customer, because at the beginning I didn't know anything, so I'm there trying to figure out like 90% of the stuff that I see. Now we kind of just slipped into what we prefer to do, and I just kind of stick. It's been the same thing over and over for the past few years, with the exception of like electronic, just being more um, prevalent, right? You see more, whether it's intelligent or the EcoNet, whatever that we see now, right? That's the only difference that's been in the past few years for me. I've been asked if I want to do any other kind of work because they want more like hospital stuff. Hey, can you come work on these ultra freezers, these scientific, whatever? I forget the brand name. So I kind of do want to get into it, but I would have to take the time to learn that stuff a little bit and try to get familiar with it before I go and like offer it. So what was I gonna say? So I've had that on my mind that I want to branch out a little bit. We are very fortunate for work right now because we've been getting one of the issues I have right now is my freaking insurance, but it's because the holidays they take like 2 weeks off, and I'm like, there's been business days in between. You guys should have gotten this done so I can onboard a customer that wants us to do like 14 stores. I just got a call over the weekend. I need to have a meeting tomorrow because I have another owner that wants to give us 11 stores of another restaurant. I'm like, geez, okay. So I'm trying to set everything up, get the guys involved, and just keep them busy. Right. This is supposed to be our slowest time. They've been busy every day. Hot food does do a lot for us, but we have a lot of maintenance coming up too. So that one that we have a meeting for tomorrow entails more ice cream machines and a little bit of specialty stuff that we don't see all the time. And that was one of his questions, like, do you guys work on this stuff? I was like, I'm gonna be honest with you, it's been a while. I used to do this stuff. I used to work on ice cream machines and margarita machines. I feel like they're kind of the same thing. Um, and that was back in the day. I was like, it's been a while, but we've done it before. And we're gonna go see how it is tomorrow. See if we want to take on that customer, he just really wants us, because a lot of companies, a lot of businesses here, they want to rely on a company that can, one, handle the volume of calls. If they give you more than 10 stores, they want you to handle all the calls promptly. And what was I gonna say? Like they want the techs to be knowledgeable, because that's a big issue that we have here. Yeah, that's a big issue that we have here. Is a lot of techs don't know much past like residential AC. They don't know much past an old mechanical walk-in. They don't know much about a lot of the newer stuff or specialty stuff. Because I've been called out for like margarita machines, and I'm like, hey, it has a compressor and a condenser, and I can kind of take it apart and look at it, and I've managed to fix them, and it's like they work a certain way. It's like with anything, like ice machines too. Like they work a certain way, but it's all the same. It's if you had the time to take it apart, because that was his thing. Is like, do you guys know how to work on these? Do you guys do training? Do you guys keep up? And I was like, I'm gonna be honest with you. It's just been a while, but if you have that, we will work on it. Our senior tech also has experience with it, because he had worked at other places and then came back. So I was like, we have experience between us two. We can figure it out. So kind of want to get back into trying other things, and if I can step back a little bit from the common calls, right? All the motors and capacitors, let all the guys take care of that. The new guys that are trying to learn in our company, and then I'll go and learn something else. I'll go and get all the training and everything, so then I can train them, and whatever it is that we need to do. Yeah, reefer is reefer. It's all the same. Oh, I'm not. Yeah. Changing the barrel. Every time I've worked on one, I've prayed that it's something that's just, can I fix it on the spot? Nothing major. Please don't let it be anything major. I haven't had to do anything crazy with the ice cream machines, or even the margarita machines. Like they've been pretty easy to work on. The calls that I've gotten, and again, it's been a while. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, they didn't do so well. Super tight to work on. Yep. Hobart offered 38 starting. I'm just not sure I want to do hot side all day. It does. It is different. Yeah, headaches pay well. Ah, dang it. Uh, See, like, and that's something else that I kind of want to pick up is some of the hot side. Like I said, I've done it. I only did it for like a year when I started, right? So I've seen it. I've worked around it. It is dirty. It is a different kind of job. I can get away with, at least with what I do, not taking too much of a beating, because all my stuff is on the roof, or it's an undercounter that they most likely are just going to replace. Like they don't spend too much on reach and coolers, so I don't work on those as much as I used to. So I want to say it's been really easy for me in particular, and like the work that we offer, um, because everything's on the roof. The worst thing is I'm sweating all day, right? So I'm not in an attic. I'm not in the kitchen around grease or any of that stuff. The reach-ins, I think, were the nastiest, as far as like all the food that got caught by the evaporator and drain, all that standing water when it was clogged up. Like those were the calls that left me leaving work like smelling like crap, right? Or drenched in water, stuff like that. The walk-ins are not that bad for me. at least for me anymore. So um, yeah, I know that's I've noticed that, Brian. Like, you got to clean those tools, or they're I mean, they're honestly, those tools are once they go to hot side, that's what they're designated to, because they're never going to be clean again. And you got to be on top of it, because your boots, your clothes, your tools, you're around grease all the time. So it pays well, because we're trying to train our guys that are coming in to learn that, and they're doing a lot of those calls right now, and those calls just do not stop. So um, well, we might be doing the wing stops, if all goes well. Um, and I know I've worked on there in there once. I've never worked at Buffalo's, I don't think, and I've heard bad things about Buffalo's, but I love to eat there. Yeah, you gotta have a change of clothes. Yeah, walk-ins, ice machines, top two in that order. It's pretty. I feel like I've gotten a little complacent. It's been easy. I only do restaurant work, and I only do certain restaurants. We've tried recently to do some smaller mom and pop shops to help them out, and they are rude as hell to us. And I'm like, you know what? We don't need that, so we're not gonna take the calls anymore. So we've been fortunate that we just pick and choose the calls that we want, and the accounts that we have right now, super easy to work on. The worst part is a roof access if they don't have roof access, but other than that, it's not that bad. So yeah, I was gonna say that they're probably not the cleanest, at least compared to the other accounts that we have. But work is work. If the guys want to stay busy, that they want to make what they want to make, I'm gonna line them up, and hopefully everything goes well. We have that, and we have another one. Like I said, I have a meeting tomorrow. So and all that stuff. Like I said, I'll get into it. I just kind of took a break. That was my point earlier, and I don't know where I went with that, but I was kind of taking a break from posting and all that kind of stuff, and I wanted to talk about what's been going on and all the business that we've been getting. It's just us putting ourselves out there for our website, a lot of stuff through Jobber and CallRail, just kind of helping us be seen, and it's been working because people find us through searches and our website. A lot of them compliment the website, and the guy that I have a meeting with tomorrow, he loves that it's automated, because they want to just request work and then just have it done. He's like, if I can just put in the request and you guys go do it, he's like, I'll be happy with that. So, um, oh, we had Applebee's recently. Word of mouth gets you so much, but like you do need an online presence and all that kind of stuff. And I kind of want to get into some of the business stuff that we've been playing around with. But we worked at Chili's, not Chili's, Applebee's, and they called us because the other company wasn't doing so well, or they wanted us to do certain jobs, and then they went back to calling the other company because they're cheaper, right? So we did some Applebee's, and they were okay. I'm very interested in going out of town. Yeah, yeah, and I've talked to guys around here that what businesses, because around here it's like Red Lobster is a red flag, with payments and all that kind of stuff. We did a couple of calls there. Luckily, we got paid. Like, the guy was really cool. We got paid, but I know I've heard that people don't get paid from them, and they'll use several companies, run up the bills, and not answer the phone, basically. So, um, really, Longhorns. We have like two here. I think we have more. going out of town, but I've never worked on nasty rooftops at Chili's. I've never worked at a Chili's. Um, but yeah, we had Applebee's here and there, but it's funny. I've saved them money for sure. And we did some calls a few years ago. We did some calls recently. Saved them a ton of money, but they're cheap. So they're going to use whoever's cheaper for the majority of the calls. So that's just the way it is now. And we have realized that we just want to be the number one company that they call, because most of them, even the one tomorrow, I think mentioned he has a list of companies and they just haven't been good. So he's looking for the new, like, who are we going to call first type of deal. So, oh, I have one of those too. I think I only have one. We have there's a restaurant that we take care of that is in a plaza that is owned by Teleperformance. I don't know if they've changed their name or not, but Teleperformance, which is an hour and a half out, or I think it's an hour out. And that roof, it's ginormous. You have to. We did a compressor change out one time. I disassembled my cart to take it on the roof, put it back together so we can take all the equipment and everything, like the recovery, the tools, everything that we took over there on a freaking cart, even on gravel, rocks, because I was not going to carry all that stuff one by one. We were at the roof hatch was in one corner. The AC unit we had to work on was in the complete diagonal opposite corner. So we have that one that has gravel, and it's a pain in the ass. 7-Eleven had everything remote. Appreciate it. Remember to hit the like. Oh, here we go. Red Lobster owed us 17K and they never paid us. Then they called us because they couldn't get anyone else to work on their stuff. Yep. Been down that road. Not with them. It was with I know IHOP was one that did that, and there was another one. And then sometimes it's just cheaper or better for you just to cut your ties and move on. We had a macaroni grill. I don't know how common those are. We have one of them here. That same guy owned Tony Roma's. All that stuff was remote. All the make lines and everything, remote condensers. So there was a little um, mini rack system on the roof. It was a mess. This was right before I started my YouTube channel. I would have loved to have documented that because the previous company just did not know what they were doing. There's a lot of work, a lot of frustrating long days at that one. And you know, I was surprised with that one because I'm like, man, I gotta be running up and down to do that. And they had a lot of make lines in there. They had one, two, three. They had like 5 or 6 make lines, and all the compressors are on top. And that rack system also housed the 2 walk-ins. They had a cooler and a freezer. So yeah, fan motor gave out one time. All the refrigeration went down. 40,000 miles. I drove a lot. Big territory. They want us to go out further, and I want to hire enough people to get to that point eventually where we can cover a little bit more. when they were part of Darden, they they went bankrupt a couple times, didn't they? Uh, for me, they didn't have an ice machine. They had a little mini freezer for something like a chiller. It was like a freezer and a chiller for like their salad plates. That also had its own freaking little compressor up there. Everything was remote. They didn't have ice cream machines. They just kept the ice cream in the freezer, and that was a big one too. The freezer kept had a lot of issues, and their ice cream would always go soft. A buddy of mine just bought a restaurant, and you're gonna do the hot side and cold side. Awesome. I'm gonna go through the comments real quick. I know, right? Any veto deals? No, but if you're looking for some really nice smaller bags in spring, I believe those are the spring promo bags. Is the it's smaller bags with some upgrades, some nice upgrades. Oh, three times. You ever do national account wine stores? Those are cake. RTUs and a couple of medium temp. No, I can't say that I have. We kind of stick to the same thing. We have fast food and hospital work. And like I said, we try not to do too much. But I've been building up the website and everything online, and we've been getting a lot of requests. So potentially this week, onboarding or adding, what did I say, like 25 stores from two different accounts. So we'll see how that goes. Make sure he pays. Yeah, know where he, you know where he lives. All right. So, uh, and I saw, was Brad in here? I freaking went over his comment. BTA HVAC. That should be Brad. Um, what's up, man? I know you've been doing some other things now. Learn all you can. It's the best you can do. Whether it's HVAC, a business, being a technician, content creation, because I just had some good conversations with some guys that were starting out asking questions about content and working with people. No matter what it is that you do need to always improve and be better and learn things and try things and all that kind of stuff. And just stay ahead of everybody. Learn more so that they know more than the next technician, the next company. And like some of you guys mentioned, I know, like Brian said, they call you back because the next company couldn't do it. So as long as you're the guy that knows and keeps learning and you know g- just does good work, they can uh, they can help you. I mean, that can help you, and that's what always gets me is staying ahead of the curve, staying a step ahead, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I would appreciate it if you guys would hit the like button before we get off here in a minute. Bulk of our work, AHR right around the corner. I know, I can't wait to get out there. I've been asked by a lot of companies, what are you doing, or what are your plans? I just want to hang out. So I just want to go roam around, find me walking around. I'll make sure to post any of the. I know we have the podcast pavilion, we have the booth, some of the booths to do. So I'll make sure to post all that stuff if you guys want to go support. But for the most part, just gonna hang out, try to find everybody, chit chat, go see some cool stuff. Whatever new tools are coming out. Um, might do something with Milwaukee Tools. We'll see how that goes. Been in contact with them and a few other companies. So hopefully we'll see if Vito gets, because you guys are talking about Vito here. Love my Tech Pack Blackout. Love my Vito bag as well. Can't wait till AHR is in Anaheim. Um, yeah, I can't say too much because I'm waiting for my renewal. But if not, there's been a bunch of other stuff. We talked about it on nights, right? Like the Melatough or whatever it's called. Sip Crop or whatever the other one's called. A lot of companies are coming out with their version of Vito bags, and we'll see what happens. Velocity has been doing a lot of stuff too, so just kind of keeping an eye on that. And I've seen a lot of Milwaukee bags coming out that are similar to Vito's, some of Vito bags, and I saw some new ones by Klein Tools, I think recently. So that doubt it going there. Yeah, a lot of tool bags. I think a lot of companies are finally realizing that we want better tool bags, right? That we want them to last. And that was my main complaint, is why I switched to Vito. Was I had, and it was CLC. Like I don't know them. I don't talk to them. Um, Never been sent anything. I bought several CLC bags and they all ripped. So that was my, like, I can't keep buying these, and that's why I switched over to Vito. So hopefully with the new wave of tool bags, more companies are trying to do, tougher bags, better bags, and all that kind of stuff. So uh gave my apprentice my old Tech Pack MCT Blackout, was pumped. Those are bags you can pass them down and they're just as good. I gave our guys some of the bags that I had before. They don't they show a little bit of use and wear, but hardly any, and they're still good. I was like, if you guys don't use them, take them back to the shop because we can give them to somebody else. Once you go Vito, no need to get another bag unless it's stolen. Yep. Hold on, let me see. Vito. They're going crazy. What I want to talk about, we probably will do nights this week, and I've already written down some stuff that I want to talk about. What I want to talk about are those bucket bags. That is not what I thought they were doing when they asked me about it. So I had no idea. I didn't have one of them to test, but I saw them come out. I'm like, oh, okay, and everybody is hyped for those. So I'm interested to see what people use those for. They're interesting. I think I'm pretty set with the bags that I have. I don't think I need another one. I always say that, but we'll see. But I want to talk about that with Jake. So we'll talk about the bucket bags. But yeah, they have every freaking bag that you could want. Let's see. I've been wanting to start my channel. I've only been in the trade for 6 months. I logged 2,000 hours in my first 6 months. Um, we should, let's see. Sparking across America. I mean, that's good. If you enjoy it, if you find it either easy to do or you have time to edit and post, go for it. Um, It is not that if you don't because I used to watch every analytic, right? Subscriber, every view, every video, how did it do, and this and that. Once you kind of just roll with it, find a groove and post and keep going and all that kind of stuff, all of that just happens, right? So I wanted to be monetized. That just happened automatically. I didn't even have to think about it. Got the subs, got everything. And then from there, you don't make a ton of money unless you get a ton of views, but it's cool to have. And also the messages and interactions. Live streaming was always a thing that I wanted to do when I started. I was like, once I hit 1,000 subs, I'm on a live stream. So I've tested it different kinds of ways before. I ended up doing a podcast, and that was completely different because that used to be what I did live. But now I get to do this again, where I can try to do this weekly and talk about like the work week and what you guys have coming up, and just chit chat and all that kind of stuff. So if you got time, you can do it, and it's a cool thing to do. Bucket bags. You haven't seen them? They're on the whatever they've been posting on Instagram. It's the round tool bags. They are in the shape of a bucket, but they are like small. When they told me, "Hey, we're looking to do a bucket bag," or "What do you use a bucket for?" I was thinking a 5 gallon bucket. I was like, "You guys are gonna make a 5 gallon bucket with tool storage or something like that?" Um, and then they also inquired about making I think you call them the bucket, like bucket buddy or something, right? Like where you put a bag on a bucket and it's like it goes on the lip so you can have tools and stuff. That's also what they inquired about. That's what I thought they were doing, like either that kind of accessory for it or something the size of a bucket or their own kind of bucket. And yeah, they came out with these little mini ra- circular tool bags. So everybody's going crazy for them right now. Walter loves that bucket. Let's see. I work for Next Tech. I love the company. Uh, if you're willing to work, they will send you calls till you say I'm going home. And we have new guys right now that I will never. We're small, so it's completely different, right? Like they let you do what you want to do, and that's great. Um, for us, we're a small family business. I will never try to overwork my guys. So here they know that they can have a full schedule and then go home at a decent time. So I want them going home 5 to 6 every day. And we don't start super early or anything like that. So, I'm not going to be the one going in late or getting out early and they're working all the way to midnight or anything like that. Right. So that's really cool. I'm glad that you love your job, but take advantage of it. If you want to go and work and do all the overtime and everything, that's awesome. It's a good way to get some money, build it up, and hopefully save some of that money so that you can do something else with it later. Uh, oh man, I keep pushing this other freaking button. You're the only person that I know that loves Next Tech. They started showing up in our area, but we still get calls, and they're like, "We know of this company, we know of that company," but they get a lot of runaround from these bigger companies. So we're still dependable. Uh, we make sure we do a lot of same day repairs and everything, and that's our benefit right now. I bought a bunch of GoPro and batteries. You got a drone? I've been tempted to get one. I don't see anywhere that I can use it for, at least for the content that I do. Um, so I was like, oh, I guess I'll skip on that one. Um, been in Next Tech for 6 years. They show up in everyone's area. We have that one. Oh, there was another one. There's another one that bought a company that had been here for a pretty long time that did a lot of supermarket refrigeration. Climate Pros bought them. I was like, really? What is up, man? Music City HVAC. What is up? Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Once you said Next Tech, so be careful. Uh, who was that other kid? Young Buck Refrigeration had to delete all his videos because they asked him to. So just be careful. Prodigy, we bought them. Yeah, just be careful. I know other YouTubers have had issues. There's been a few that disappeared because they got in trouble for recording. So my policy, and if any of my guys did it, they would just have to follow the same thing that I do. Do not show any workers. Do not record any conversations. Do not show the location. I never like showing the location. Just so that they can't tell you, hey, you're exploiting this or that, right? I'm only showing the equipment, the machine that I'm working on, and you can't really tell too much from that. So just be careful. I used to work at Metro Tech for a while. Mattress firms, Targets, malls. Great gig if you don't mind travel and hotels. Yeah, it's the same thing I say. If I was single, I'd be doing I'd be doing so much more, but it's a different lifestyle, right? Like if you're you have a significant other, you have kids, you don't want that kind of lifestyle. So that's why I always say if you start young, take advantage because you can travel, you can work overtime, you can take all these other opportunities and make a lot of money and then later settle down somewhere and just work in a, in a smaller area and only do certain hours and all that kind of stuff. So um yeah, take advantage when you're younger. Who haven't you bought yet? Oh, that's how we got Mike. Yeah, Mike was that what which one was it? And then yeah, then I had seen that they had bought them out and he was now with them or you guys or whatever. And yeah, I remember seeing that whole thing. We have a no video policy. Yeah, customers privacy. You never want to get in trouble with recording recording and getting called out for it without permission, all that kind of stuff. So just be careful. Like I said, my way around it is, and a lot of my customers know that I do YouTube and they've seen me and they said they like videos and all that kind of stuff. I just don't talk bad about them. Um, whatever I see, yeah, custom cooling. Whatever I see is just factual. Like, oh, this was this way, this is done that way, this has been like this for whatever. So get hot takes, any crazy opinions, say anything bad about that customer, that building, anything like that. Just completely factual and just the equipment in front of me, nothing else. Yeah. We are owned by First Call Mechanical out of Texas. OEM is probably going to buy us. I've been offered several times, and I'm like, no. And I had a guy hounding us. Um, Not hounding us, but he kept calling, and I'm like, dude, we've already had this conversation. I'm not selling. So they're looking. Everybody's looking to buy, and you guys know exactly why they want to buy smaller companies, family companies, and then keep that name and your likeness and everything with it, so that they can keep using that name and just be like, go ahead and call the next guy because we most likely own all of the companies in your area. So that's what they're getting at. And like I said, I've seen a couple of companies here that have been around as long as us sell, and I mean that's what they want. That's fine. I just I know I'm gonna keep it. I know I'm gonna keep it going. We'll see if my kids get into it. But we have a lot of young guys right now. It's me and my brother, and then what's crazy is it's my uncle, his kid, and his grandkid got into it around the same time. So now we have three generations right there that are gonna keep going because that the youngest, the grandkid, is straight out of high school, and he has somebody else that's going to HVAC school that wants to come, and he's already been a helper for us. So like, that's a lot to not necessarily pass on. I'm still gonna be here, but to train them, see them grow, kind of build a team with these younger guys, and have them for a long time. Um, Hopefully, my son or my kids will be into it, and we'll figure it out. Next Tech hired me right out of trade school. That's good. We've been for sale for 5 years. No takers. Let's see. I'm having a hard time. Is Next Tech for sale? Hey brother, I'm having a hard time finding a job after graduating trade school. What would you recommend to help find a job? I'm in California. I want to say, I don't know if you've seen Ewok does HVAC. I think he just did a video on this, and he's from California. He's in there. A lot of it is being persistent, right? You're gonna apply everywhere, even if they're not hiring. Just call them to, hey, I'm interested. If you guys are ever looking to hire, get my information, this and that. If you get somebody else I saw mention, I was watching some videos today. If you fill out a resume or apply, say that you have your tools. Maybe make a list of the tools that you already own. If you have any, it's always good to have some. So like what companies look for is like somebody that knows something. So if you go to trade school, that's something, and that has like at least their basic tools and they're ready to work. Another one I've heard is like when you go to uh, an interview, you're always either dress nicely or dress in work clothes so that you are presentable to that company for what they do, right? So that's another one that I heard recently was go in some nice work clothes, right? Nice work pants, a shirt of some kind, a Milwaukee shirt, whatever it is, and you know, clean up all that kind of stuff. Have tools and be persistent because whenever you can't find a job, I understand that they want experience. So that's going to be your biggest downfall, or your obstacle. But somebody's bound to need help at any given time. So if you can call around, even if they're not hiring, call around, check in every month or whatever it is, make sure they get your information, make sure you get their information, and you just keep contact and call every company. You might not get the one that you want the first time. You might have to settle for a smaller company or somebody that doesn't pay you as much as some of the bigger companies, but then you get experience, then you can put that on your resume, then you can go to the next one and, get a better job after that. So, yeah, work boots, show up in work boots, a button up jeans and work boots. Just, be presentable as a blue collar worker. Essentially, you don't need a suit or anything like that. But yeah, that's the one that I've heard. Dress like you're gonna work. Like when you go to an interview, that if they tell you to come right along and do a call, like make sure you're dressed for that. Make sure you have your work boots already, all that kind of stuff, and be presentable. So again, it is just. Well, here's a hookup. Go to go to Next Tech. They are probably hiring in Cali. Yeah, you can learn. You can do a lot with smaller companies, and they're most likely willing to take you on if you're willing to be paid less, basically, right? So we cannot like from experience, we cannot hire uh, a 20-year tech that wants $30 to $40 an hour because we're a small company. We just cannot afford or guarantee that kind of money. So yes, we've taken in younger kids that take less than 20 that they're willing to learn. And if they want to stay, we're okay with giving them raises. But if they don't want to stay, they can go to the next company, right? But if you get in with a smaller company, you can learn more, you can do more. You're just gonna earn less, but that's gonna help you get that next job, right? Learn as much as you can, and then you'll get that pay later. Less pay, more accountability at a smaller shop. Yeah, need experience. Oh, dang it. Uh, in trade school, and a few kids literally got kicked out of school for being on their phone during class, taking a photo inside of the school. So, so I went to trade school too. I went to a community college, and I had to. It was my last semester. I had to finish a class or two, and I had never seen this teacher get upset. And these kids were clowning around on their phone, and he's like, "You guys don't want to be here. I'll make it easy for you. Get out." Right? Kicked them out. Refused to let them back in. Those guys were gone. So even in trade school, you got to be careful because if you don't take that serious, there goes your future. So those guys got kicked out. I don't think they got let back in. I think they completely got taken out of the course. But yeah, I've seen that happen too. And it doesn't take much. You just sit there, learn, then you go braze, you go do some stuff here and there, and you get tested. It. I learned a lot in trade school. I liked it. I got all my basics. I got a lot of stuff um, that I needed because I was going to be on my own a lot. I did work with another guy. I worked with a guy that did residential. I don't do residential. So here and there, I did work with some people, but I had to learn a lot of it on my own. So that trade school helped me quite a bit. I'm looking into one. I know a lot of you guys here don't need a trade school, but I'm looking into one. They reached out. They have it's really cool. It's online courses, all that kind of stuff. And I prefer to do it in person, but for anybody that's looking to get into the trades, any online training is great. That's what I've been trying to tell my guys. They've been interested in like the skill cat, all this other stuff that they found on their own. And I'm like, yeah, if you guys want to do it, I encourage it. We'll cover it. We'll pay for you to go through that. And it just helps them and it helps us in the long run. So I was a nerd in the trade school, sat in the front and asked a lot of questions. See, that was where I learned because I sat in the back And I was like, hey, those guys in the front, they're always chit chatting with the teacher, asking questions. So then I, shortly after, tried to get a front seat and tried to interact and volunteer and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, if you can also just sit in the back and not learn anything, that was what I started, how I started, switched over to sit in the front, and that made a big difference. Oh well, yeah, that's another that's a good one. I mean, a good point. You've applied to 200 plus, drove around. It is pretty slow. So like for us, I wanted to hire a more experienced tech. It's just hard right now because I don't have a lot of calls. We have enough for us, but I'm actually trying to do more business stuff right now. I've just been really busy in the off season trying to do other things like build the business up. And it is technically the slow season, so you might have a harder time, especially like in California, where it is probably slow right now. Um, but yeah, just hang in there, reach out, uh, check up on these companies, see if there's any companies you missed, and I just feel like somebody's always looking for someone, right? Someone's always looking for a good technician or somebody that wants to learn. So um, just just hang in there. I'm pretty sure, like you said, it's also probably because of the holidays and everything. I'm sure that phone will pick up. Next tech page for a continuing education enrolled electrical class. So you can get licensed as an electrician too. Awesome. I started my job on the 26th. Uh, only in trade school, I was a slacker in high school. Okay. Loved it so much, you stayed an extra year. Might have to move to a different state. It doesn't get cold in Cali. Yeah, yeah. That for us, it's AC all year round, so it's been hot. It's been 80s. So I have, and I do refrigeration. So I don't know what kind of companies you're applying to. If it's a company that does refrigeration, that would be helpful as well because for us, um, we got a lot of walk-ins right now. We got a lot of change-outs for walk-ins to do or that need to be scheduled. Um, the Wingstop, they want us to do their fryers, so that's hot side. And the guy that I'm meeting with tomorrow has a lot of refrigeration stuff that he wants worked on. So that also helps if you don't do just AC work. I've had refrigeration work coming in still. Don't count out Union and OEMs, Nick. They have the best training in Cali. You have training care. Yeah, you have all these companies out there. Considering moving to Arizona, just gonna say Texas. There's a lot of work in Texas. I've talked to guys up north, all around. Um, it's hot. It's hot all year round here. All right. I was hoping this session would be better, but it looks like it's in and out. So we'll figure things out for possibly Thursday. Um, test the union here. So I hope you guys had a good weekend. Hopefully, you guys are ready for the work week. And I appreciate you guys for tuning in. We will see you on the next one. I don't have an outro. So appreciate all you guys. Remember to like on your way out. Leave a like. And I will see you guys. I'm going to end it